and all other stakeholders with a view of saving the next generation. This decision was not because other parts of the country are not important, far from it. It is because the Central Kenya region has the highest prevalence rate. And we did agree with the President that it may be difficult to start the exercise all over the country. And we agreed that we try Central Kenya as a model. And when we succeed, as we must, we shall replicate the effort and the interventions to the rest of the country. As we speak, I was in touch with the Regional Commissioner of Rift Valley. We are going to have an engagement with the 6 counties that are worst hit, Nakuru being one of them. From there, we'll have some engagement down the coast before we go to Eastern Province, that is the Mt.KENYA East, Embu, Meru, and Tharaka Nithi. We did hold our first conference in Nyeri. All members of the National Assembly were present. All members of the Senate were present. Our 5 governors were present. The Regional Security Committee was present. The county security committees were present. The sub-county security committees were present. All the station commanders were present. All the ACCs were present. We had a gathering of about 1,000 people. And from there, we agreed on what we need to do. And in furtherance to what we agreed, I did convene another meeting of the security committees in Nairobi, and a lot of issues came up. And we had a very honest and candid discussion with our security commanders, and a lot of gaps were identified in matters legislation that place is not very helpful in addressing the problem. From there, I was able to call the DPP, and we had another engagement with the security committees and our prosecutors in the region, and again, gaps were identified. It became very clear we need to fix the law and create the necessary legislative framework to back our investigative agencies and our prosecution teams. I therefore did appeal to the members of the County Assembly to grant me an audience. And we met 247 members of the 5 county assemblies and all the 5 speakers, and the leader of majority in the National Assembly, the Honorable Kibani Chungwa, for a long day conversation. And this meeting was birthed there. And after a lot of discussion with the members of the County Assembly, we did agree that 1, there were serious gaps. In Nyandarua County, for example, there is no legal framework in place to regulate the issue of alcohol in that county. Again, the laws that were made in the other 4 counties were hastily done and have not been helpful in the fight against illicit brews. We therefore did agree with the 5 county assemblies, with all members present unanimously, that I convene this forum so that we can sit down and come up with uniform laws across the 5 counties. In fact, the County Assembly of Nyandarua did come to see me, telling me that since they didn't have a law in place, they had already crafted something and they wanted to go ahead. And I did implore upon them to exercise some little patience to allow us have this discussion so that we can also improve that law and also make amendments in the other laws in the 4 other counties so that we have uniform laws that will help us. So ladies and gentlemen, you have a date with history, you have a date with destiny. For those of us who come from the Central Kenya region, you all know the cry of our mothers, you know the cry of our women, you know the desperation of our young people. You know how desperate the situation is. And the entire population is urging us to provide leadership, step forward, and save the next generation. Leadership is about interventions. Leadership is about showing the way. You cannot be a leader who keeps on lamenting and you cannot offer a solution. We cannot accept a situation where our mothers are crying, the women are crying, and we as leaders have no solution. You have no business being in leadership if you cannot be bold enough to take a step and offer a solution. So for the men and women in this room today, history will judge you very favorably if from this sitting for the next 3 days, you come up with laws that are stringent, that are effective to bring down the consumption of illicit brews and drugs in our 5 counties. And I can tell you, because we must succeed, when the history of the Central Kenya region is written and how the region was almost being wiped out by illicit brews and drugs, and there were some men and women who came together to create interventions to save that group of people, you will have written your own chapter in the history of the region. These opportunities do not happen every day. You have a date with the destiny. So we have asked you to come here, and we have brought the members of the county assembly. We have asked the senators to be here because they oversight what the counties do. We have requested our lawyers from the region in the National Assembly because they understand the law and they are also lawmakers. And with us, we have Honorable Kagushia from Ukuroini, Honorable Jerry Maina from Kirinyaga, and Edward Muriu from Katanga. I don't know what happened to Honorable Gishimu Githinji of Gishogo. He's another one of our lawyers in the region. I requested them to come and help us. We did also ask Nakada to come. The regional head is here, the CEO is here, so that they can also share with us experiences and the gaps that have been identified. Again, I did request the Honorable Attorney General, Honorable Justin Muturi, to give us backup with drafters from the Office of the Attorney General who have the necessary and requisite experience so that they can also come up with existing laws so that we look at them and we decide how to go. We did also ask the Clerk of the National Assembly to assist us with the drafters